Hey, and welcome to another Frightreads Author Talks. This was going to be the last one. I lied. We have at least one more and probably one more after that, and I'm in an infinite loop of hell where I will forever do author talks and keep telling you it's the last one. But it's not a bad thing. Fright Reads Author Talks is so awesome because you get a couple of things out of it. One, you get to ask some really dumb, goofy questions. You get to, pop something onto Facebook very innocently and just say, "Hey, saw you guys talking about X, Y, Z. Can you explain this to me?" You get a little intimate moment. The good thing is with this setup here, um, we'll steer the conversation as best as we can. I love the input from the audience. It catches us off guard, gives us questions that we weren't thinking about. Um, but doing it in this setting versus at an event, there's noise, there's conversation, there's just that background, there's all that chatter. This is just a good, clean moment where you can just talk to the artists and the guests and the authors that you want to speak to. And you have your chance just dropping it right into whatever respective chat bar, depending on which format you're looking at. So if you're not familiar, if you're just tuning in for the first time ever, Fright Reads Book Festival, you got to come out. We're at the Howard County Fairgrounds out in West Friendship, Maryland, also known as just outside of Columbia, Maryland. We're happening September 13th to the 14th, without counting VIP early entries, all that mess. 12 to 6. Um, both days. Can't miss it. It's going to be a lot of fun. As of right now, I started to do the math. Oh boy, we're pushing a lot of authors. Tons of names are coming through here. We're going to have Adam Caesar. We're going to have Jeff Strand, Bridget Nelson, A.G. Mock. Who else do we got? There's such an extensive list. We have Heather Graham. We have that's probably I'm drawing a blank, but if you're looking at, and there it goes down there on the ticker, Richard Chismar and W.H. Chismar. So we get the duo. You're looking at awesome movie stars. You're looking at Frankenhooker. You're looking at Rookie Rabbit from Super Troopers. We're getting Freddy Krueger's mom. We're getting Trauma. We're going to have Uncle Lloyd himself representing Trauma. We're going to have Jane Jensen hanging out with the Trauma booth. There is just so much. The list goes on. So you definitely want to head to frightreads.com. One of the things that we did in year 3, when we first got our 2-day festival situated in Benfield Sports Center a million years ago, also known as 2 years ago, we had a musical guest artist. We were trying something out. It's a book festival. Yes. At its core, we will always be books, authors, books and words, bookmarks, and other assorted art surrounding book ideas that are all spooky. But man, I'm a music lover. You can't see, but behind me is one of my guitars. And I got albums. I got, everything. I love music. I was in a band 20 years ago. Long time ago in a galaxy far away, I was in a band. So I'm into music. I love music. I just spent, a couple weeks ago, I was at a big giant weekend concert festival, seeing awesome people, including Rob Zombie. So music is life. So when I got the opportunity to bring these guys on, oh my God, I went through their discography. I went through everything that Bandcamp had to offer. I went through everything on Spotify. Everything was just hilarious, dumb, and just the right amount of fun where I can't express that. Just things about DeLoreans. There were horror songs, stuff about astronauts. I don't know, man. It got weird. You definitely want to check these guys out. So without further ado, I'm bringing in Hiphopmcdougal, the stars of the show tonight. Hey, there they
Hello.
be.
Hey Harry, how you doing?
I am great.
That's great.
So I set the bar really high. These great guys with a huge discography of awesome stuff, which isn't that much of a lie. You guys have a ton of work. There's an extensive list of stuff. You guys have been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
What made you guys sit down one day a long time ago in a galaxy far away and go, it'd be funny? What if?
That is basically the origin story. What if we did this? Um, Julian, you can start. Julian started without me. So
Oh,
Man.
that's true, I guess.
yeah, and then I jumped on board.
Yeah. So in college, he had some beats, and I made a couple. And I just liked rapping. I can't sing is the main backstory, so I had to rap. I love music, can't sing, had to rap. So I made like a little EP in college, using some of my beats and some of his, and then I booked a live show and didn't want to do it alone, so I brought him on board.
Perfect.
That was for
MC Chris?
Yeah, MC Chris. It's like a nerdcore rapper.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. He was choosing openers for each show, like local openers, and he let us open DC. So that was like our first time performing live. We were probably pretty horrible.
But that's the perfect audience though, because anytime somebody's like, well, what do they sound like? I'm like, all right, do you know like MC Lars, MC Chris?
Yeah.
All those guys, Lemon Demon. Like there's a bunch of just goofy, like nerdy rappers out there. And they're like, yeah. And I was like, basically that. So if you're into that, you're going to be into this.
Yeah, I would like, obviously it was an honor to be asked to play, and we had no idea what we were doing, but like I would love to do it again. Like with MC Chris, I would love for MC Chris to be like,
so he's
hey,
going on tour again
15 years ago, like
he's going on tour again. So I don't know, man.
I know.
Drop
We should
him a
email
message.
him. We should reach
Drop
out.
him a message. I don't know where he's going to be, but I would imagine he'd have to come through this neighborhood.
Yeah, it'd be cool. It'd be cool because I feel like we're not professionals at this point by any means, but we're better than we were the very first night we ever played together.
That's true.
For sure.
Oh man.
So that was like, and then after that we were like, what if we made an album that just had a bunch of beats that sounded the same? Because my beats were all over the place because I wasn't doing any kind of project. So it was like some things were sampled and some things were synthesizer stuff and some things like were sounded like really gritty, like Wu-Tang, like hip hop. It was all over the place. So I was like, what if we did one? Yeah. I'm going to see them on Friday.
Yes.
In Baltimore.
Yes.
I'm excited.
I actually I was going to do it and I waited too long, and then I was like, man, I'm kicking myself already.
I know I wouldn't have gone, but my buddy was like, I really want to go, and I was like, fine. Like he pushed me into it. So.
Well, it's Wu-Tang and Run the Jewels.
Yes, yeah.
So that's
I'm pretty pumped.
It doesn't get better than that.
No, that should be a good time.
Yeah, that's down the road from me, man. That's awesome.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So then we were like, let's do an album with all of our all the beats kind of sounding the same, more uniform. So I had like a little synthesizer at the time, a little micro Korg. And just made a bunch of beats, and we put together our first album together, and that was like 15 years ago.
Yeah, 2009.
Oh my God!
So yeah.
So we've been doing this for 16 years, just coming up with silly ideas, and all the ideas we come up with, like it's just us messing around with each other. Like we'll be talking or drinking or making jokes about something, and be like, hey, we should write a song about that. And then that's how most of the songs get made. Yeah. That's it.
Which is the best creative process. So you said you used a Korg to do a lot of your synth stuff. What did you use to actually make the beats, or was that kind of
so I used so back in the day I used Fruity Loops.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Damn. I was like, not FL Studio, but Fruity Loops.
Oh no. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, no FL Studio.
Old school. Fruity Loops.
Fruity Loops, yes.
People don't know the simplicity and struggle of what was Fruity Loops. Because so I would tell people I used to also have a rap career, if you will.
Okay.
And I made beats. So that's why I was like, oh, this is going to be a great conversation because
we're bringing Harry on stage.
Yeah,
there you go. So I used Fruity Loops, and somebody was like, that's not real. You got to use blankety blank this and this, and like $1,000 software and whatever. And let's be honest, it was a pirated Fruity Loops, because who didn't have that?
Mine too.
Right?
Oh yeah. Oh,
the best
definitely.
way.
Don't tell anyone.
You'll never stop me now, Fruity Loops.
The ones you pay for sound different. You know, I like.
Free sounds so much better.
It does. It just really does.
But I had FL Studio or Fruity Loops. I think I started with 3. Way back, like early 2000s.
Yeah, I got mine. I got mine in 2001. So I don't know what
around that
one was
probably.
out then, but yeah.
Yeah, I had like 3, I think, was my first one when I was like, wait, I can make my own beats. One of my prouder moments was I took the tubular, was it? Yeah, it was the Candyman theme. And I took the Candyman theme and I mixed it with what is next to me is electric guitar. I kind of had like the and then there was like a little beat, and it was kind of like a lo-fi vibe, and all of a sudden the guitar comes in and it's like wow. So I started messing around with like real world to like synthy click and point the drums where you want them to go.
Sure,
then I got the drum kits, and then like it's intuitive, but then you hear, like, you know how it came with songs.
Yes.
And you would listen to them and go, how the fuck did you do that?
Yeah.
What is I'm over here struggling and fighting for my life.
You try to look at the templates and like,
yeah.
And
you're like, how did you get there? And they're using all of these different layers, and like there was just so much to it. And my argument to people was, oh, will you use that? Yeah, but so did Trent Reznor.
Yeah, like
mind blown. 9 Inch Nails, for the most part, was a Fruity Loop project.
It's incredible. It's incredible. I'm so glad I used it, because it, like, I don't know, I came across it at just like the right time in my life where I had the patience to figure it out. And like I had no instructions, and there was no YouTube like tutorials on how to do this stuff. It was like,
no,
you just have to mess with it till you figure it out. And I'm really glad I did that, because then like down the road, so now I use Logic. To do everything. So I use Logic. Most of the stuff is done in Logic, and then I add like live instrumentation on top of it. But most of it's done in Logic, and like that's another one that I like am just figuring out as I go along. And like I feel like my time with Fruity Loops, the time I put in with that, like has trained me to be patient and like figure this stuff out. Yeah. And I still feel like I've only unlocked like, I don't know, 50% of what Logic has to offer me. Because every once in a while I will be like, how do you do that? And I'll go on YouTube and pull something up and be like, oh, I can also do this. Like I just recently learned that you can, you play like a live instrument, but then you can quantize it and then get it all on beat. And I was like, I don't ever have to play well ever again.
No, and so back to Fruity Loops back in the day, it had that the MIDI board where you could do the input, and if you messed up or something wasn't the right note to hit, man, you just click that thing and go da 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 dun, da 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 da. There it is. There's the ticket.
Yeah, the best.
Yeah, but I made a bunch of beats with that. It was good times, and then I got into the Army. We made some beats in there, and then my ex decided that my entire recording studio should be sold for like $1. I don't know how much she got for it. I just assume it makes me feel better that she got no money out of it and just gave it away for next to nothing. And then that was it. I was like, well, we had a good run. Thankfully, I took my guitars with me into my into training and into my unit and stuff. But all the good mics, the mixers, the boards, the monitors, the whole shebang, just gone. Yeah. So I live vicariously.
This got real sad, Harry.
It did. Who's watching? Did I bring the party down? Good. But yeah, I live vicariously through your silly songs, because
good.
That's what I had. I had a song that doesn't see the light of day anymore, because thank God Spotify didn't exist. And Bandcamp hadn't really been a thing yet. There was MySpace Music, And thankfully, their entire server is now dead in the water, and
Yes,
everything that was is not.
God.
Yeah.
I had a song called "Overly Caucasian."
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, and it was dumb. It was good. And I actually did like a rap god speed, like Eminem's, like, you know.
Oh, really?
I got a yak back in my backpack and that yeah, oh yeah. But it doesn't exist anymore, and that's probably for the best.
Yeah.
It's on my hard drive, but I'll make sure that gets wiped. I'll like die and throw a bunch of magnets on it.
No, that's smart. I think all musicians have these ghosts that they just want to go away from their past. Whether it's dumb or offensive, or you thought it was funny at the time. And
we had some songs on MySpace separately, but we're both glad that the servers got wiped or whatever happened. That's
you
good.
log back in and you're like, oh my God.
Yep.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I would have
absolutely.
those,
Absolutely.
but...
Absolutely.
Yeah. So it's funny because I actually have a song. Me and my buddy Marvin used to do beats together, and he would always come over and Fruity Loops, and he would send me the Fruity Loops file and any drum kit additions that were needed so I can import them. And we would just work on stuff together, and he'd come over with a not a flash drive, not a Google Drive, but a CD-ROM. For you kids out there, that's what a thumb drive was.
I was like, yeah.
So we would make beats on there. We had this one that we called The Beat, and it like we were like, you can't put words to this. It's that just dramatic. I'm a huge fan of using piano. And then we had strings and this punchy beat. And it was literally like the beat was just, We Will Rock You. It's just boom, boom, tsh, boom, boom, tsh. There's nothing, there's no creativity. It's just literally boom, boom, clap. But it just punched so hard. And I remember the guy that I used to do music with. We took a hiatus. I was like, buddy, I need like 2-3 months just to get my head right. And he goes, okay, that sounds good. Yeah, I'll write some stuff too, and then we'll come back at it stronger. Perfect. We're on the same page. Guy messages me and goes, he has a diss track out. Who cares? No one cares. But I listened to it and it made me mad anyway. And I just remember I texted Marvin and he was at work, and all I said was, when you're off, come to my house. We're using The Beat. It's probably the best song. It just had so many inside things about him as a person, him as a musician, et cetera, et cetera. And like, what is the I'm trying to remember the one of the verses, and it was it was the last verse. I came back in and I said, this ain't no Dawn of the Dead, this is Return of the King. Why don't you step the fuck aside and let me do my thing? I'll blow your ass out of your shoes while you're walking down the street, leave you oozing fucking dripping like a little Debbie treat. Yeah. I was like, it'll come back, all the lines will come back. Awesome. But yeah, like I sent that all, like this song that's just got these things, and there was a drop. Everybody loves the drop. The music drops away, and then you get like a good comeback, and then somebody's got to come in with some good lyrics. And Marvin came in, and he's like, I don't rap, but I don't like that dude anyway. So came in with the best lyrics and demolished him. And awesome. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to do with my life. And then fast forward, I'm writing books. So my, how the turntables.
No, yeah, I think you made a good choice.
Yeah. So full circle, I had a concept album called Memoirs of a Crazed Mind. And then it was going to be like Alice Cooper's Welcome to My Nightmare, but for rap.
Okay.
And had a good concept, had a good story, and then it just never came to fruition. I had a beat guy that did just this surrealistic sound over in Great Britain, the elusive Mr. H. And he doesn't do music anymore. He's actually like a big film director for like a golf channel. and he's like a big producer and all that, like big deal. Like he's a known guy out that way. And I'm like, good for you. But it never came to fruition. And then 20-ish years later, I have a book called Memoirs of a Crazed Mind. And I was like, it's a good title. I'm not going to let it go to waste.
Sure.
Yeah. So when you mentioned like MC Chris and bands like that, so that's the obvious, that's the low hanging fruit in terms of what I would say is inspiration. But like it's like, yeah, that's what it sounds like, is you could open for him and it'd be like, yeah, well, they did. What are some of the, you mentioned you guys are going to go see Wu-Tang and all of that. What are some of like the inspirations? Like, what are some of the stylistic inspirations?
I'm gonna take this from me.
We can share it. The Aquabats. The Aquabats are a huge one.
That was gonna be my first answer.
Yeah.
Right on. I saw them live, and I watched a kid go surfing on a slice of pizza.
Awesome.
It was probably him.
The best day of the week. It was pizza day. So
yes.
Aquabats definitely checks. What else?
Beastie Boys. I mean, that might be more low-hanging fruit there for Beastie Boys, but I mean, anything that has like, you know, they're trying to entertain and not take it too seriously. I'm like all in on that. You know, Weezer is like a band that we come back to often.
Okay.
I mean, I think both of us agree that the first two albums are what we like to associate with. if we mention Weezer, we're like, we're like the really old stuff. But
so not the Toto cover.
No, not necessarily. But we do every new Weezer album that comes out, I listen to. I still find myself listening to them because I think Rivers, I think he's got. I mean, he's an amazing songwriter when he hits that groove. There's sometimes where he does not hit that groove, but many times. But really like them. I love their melodies, harmonies. Like I like really, when I'm writing the music, I like want the choruses to be as big as possible and as like sing-alongy as possible. So I often think about Weezer.
Like Blue Traveler said, the hook brings you back.
That's right. Yeah. I just watched a video of them and Gin Blossoms. Did you see that?
Okay. No,
they were just on Jimmy Fallon for some reason. Both of them, and it was like they did like a medley of Hey Jealousy and Runaround.
Okay,
it was pretty sweet.
Yeah, all right, have a good hook. That's definitely for sure.
Yeah. I mean, old Green Day.
Okay. So you're talking about pre-American Idiot? You're looking at like pre-American Idiot, like Dookie and
Dookie and Kerplunk are like my two favorites. I love American Idiot too. To me, that was that was like the last thing I was like really on board with.
Yeah. Whenever somebody tells me like, I didn't like their new album, I'm like, which one? Like American Idiot. I was like, okay. Just want to make sure that I didn't just wake up from a coma and it turns out like 2005 still or something.
I know it's crazy. It's crazy.
I remember that coming out and hearing it, and I was in a Walmart or something, and I was like, I don't know that I like American Idiots. We'll see. And then they had their greatest hits thing, the international super hits.
Oh yeah.
And I think that would be their last of the old era. That was like the cap of like, okay, and we're gonna be a different band from here on out, but also the same.
Yeah, and I appreciate American Idiot. I think I like what they were doing, just doing something big. And some of the songs are like, I think are like just really well written. But it's I mean, Dookie though is,
oh man,
I mean, I can listen to Dookie, all day. Every day. I'm like, I don't get sick of it. It was just like such an influential album for me when I was a kid.
Yeah, so like, and that album too had like probably the most radio hits of any album. I dare say, like,
I say that and Third Eye Blind's self-titled album.
Had so
many hits for some reason.
And Third Eye Blind had no right to have songs with the lyrical content that they did being played on, like, I don't know, commercials, teeny bopper shows. And I'm like, you do know this is a song about doing drugs and getting head.
Yeah,
right?
like this is about crystal meth. Like, what are we doing?
It's like, it's drugs and sex at its core. They're like, no, it's not. No, it's not. But thank God we got that, like, flipper over on the belly line out of there. That good riddance. What rubbish. But I want to do the hints that I was given, and I bumped again, and I bumped again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
so
for real.
like,
yeah.
And
that
it's
album's
wild.
crazy. That album, it has like 6 singles on it. It's like half the album. It's crazy. Like, I don't know how one band gets so lucky to like to just hit it just the right time.
That
won't be us.
Pretty soon you'll be the Gin Blossoms and Goo Goo Dolls and
whatever.
This era. One day.
I could strive to be the Gin Blossoms.
Dude, I saw the Gin Blossoms. I saw them live, and it was a 90s revival tour, and it opened up with Marcy Playground. Great opening, because it's kind of mellow and you're still getting your beer, whatever, you're just getting in, and he's doing the deep cut songs that only I know, literally just me. I don't think anybody in the building, maybe not even half the band. Like, we're doing like St. Joe on the Bus and Up and Down, Punk Rock Superstar, and everybody's just kind of like, and then all of a sudden he goes, hanging around, and that was it. The whole place is lit up, and I was like,
of course,
handy, ladies and gentlemen, that's all it is.
Yeah.
So they played, and then they were followed up by Lit, and this guy's ripping his shirt off, jumping on speakers, just making a mess of the place, and just tearing the house down. And then Gin Blossoms comes in with his little tambourine, and he's like, anywhere you go. And everybody just cleared out of the room. At one point in time, he threw his tambourine out into the crowd, and everybody scattered from it. And he just, like, very sadly got off the stage and picked it up and went back up to the stage with it.
Oh, that is very sad.
Like, ooh, you should have gone before Lit.
Yeah.
You can't follow a guy jumping off speakers doing shots.
Yeah, no, Lit's a tough one to follow.
Yeah, but they're fun live. They weren't terrible. But not to follow, you don't follow Lit. You should have followed Marcy Playground and just escalated the volume as we went.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, solid amount of inspirations. Like, this stuff's all over the place.
Yeah, and I think I mean, I make all the music. We both come up with the ideas and lyrics and stuff. He's more of the lyricist than I am, but I like hearing. I mean, I've fallen in love with pop music over the years, and like I just like catchy stuff.
Yeah,
and I like production. I like kind of trying new sounds. So, a lot of times we'll hear a song or hear it in a band and be like, "Oh, we should do a song in that style." And like Julian was like, "We should do a ska song." So I was like, "All right." Like, I've never done a ska song. I don't
just need
play
a lot of horns.
Yeah, like, but I don't play any horns. So like, what can Logic do? So then it's like I get to sit down and experiment and like figure it out. So a lot of stuff is like that too, and I like that. With this project, like we don't have like a specific like singular sound. So we get to try all kinds of dumb stuff. It's great.
Yeah, we're working on
jump everywhere.
Yeah, we're working on a new Halloween song that we are hoping to debut at Frightreads. And the musical element is like surf rock, like dark surf rock.
Yeah,
you would say.
Yes.
Okay. You made it.
Yeah, and I've never played surf rock before.
Yeah,
and I've just been like studying surf rock for the last
like zombified Beach Boys.
Yes, yeah, and then there's a whole world out there of like dark surf music.
Well, there's a whole band called Beach Creeper. I don't know if you're familiar with them. They're from.
I'm not.
Her band does like surf music, but they're zombies, and that's their vibe.
Yeah, sign me up. I found some playlist on Spotify, which is like 10 hours of just various bands like this that I'm sure sound much like Beach Creeper, and it's just great. It's like that music lends itself really well to this darker I mean, you think like Munsters, like down, 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 like that kind of like twangy guitar, like. So anyway, I've
like
been
the
just like
Cramps, things like that, where you kind of got this like rockabilly-esque.
Yes.
Like something that just doesn't sound like it belongs in that era.
Absolutely. Yeah. So
or anywhere really.
So we're
some of the stuff that doesn't belong anywhere, and you're like, oh, we'll just put this off in its own little corner.
Yeah, it's real strange. So we've been like working on that, and like that's just like a style of music I've never done before. So
yeah,
it's fun. It's fun. So inspiration comes from wherever whatever we hear, I guess.
So there's a band. I would say the Euro bands. Give them a listen because they're doing some weird stuff.
Okay.
Like you got like Electric Callboy is doing some next level weird stuff. Like it's like a nightclub, but if you had just like banging electric guitars.
Okay.
Like you were doing like a death metal nightclub. And I don't know how best to describe that, but it's like Euro pop on like steroids and acid at the same time.
I'm into that.
So like you have Callboy. then there's another one that I really love called Royal Republic. They're one of my favorites, and they come out with like it's like disco rock. I don't like it, just has like a weird like 70s and 80s vibe while sounding like the Electric Six, but cleaner. And less gay bar, less gay bar, but but they have like these different songs, and they get like they're Swedish or something, I think. And I think they're Swedish or Finnish. I can't remember, one of the two. But like their music is very like new wavy in some instances. And you're just kind of listening to it and you're like, okay. Like they have a song called Anna Lee, which is like, it's got this like funky, like just a funky groove for the guitar. Like listening to their stuff, you'll probably be like, yeah, there's something here. I can.
Yeah.
I got an idea.
All right. Cool.
Yeah. But that's cool. Like it just pops out, and you're like, hey, like kind of like, I would go as far as to say it's Weird Al syndrome. He hears a song and goes, "This is called Spam." You hear a song and you're like, "This would be cool," but what if we did a song about dinosaurs?
Yeah. And Weird Al, we should have mentioned him.
Yes, that was
that was a given.
But yeah, definitely.
Yeah, he's an inspiration to all.
Yeah, for sure.
I have an entire parody album that exists that does not exist anymore for everyone else but me. It will be buried with me, and I'll like I said, I'll die holding a bunch of magnets on top of the hard drive. But yeah, like that's so cool. And just like the concepts of what you've come up with. Like when I was talking to Brian about like how he met you guys more or less solicited for his DeLorean. I don't think there was any kind of mutual anything. It was just like, you have a DeLorean? Good sir, would you like to have it in this music video?
Yeah. We wrote this song called Pack for the Past. And it's like basically like just a nostalgia song about just growing up, a lot of like late 80s 90s kind of stuff. Julian had a lot of like personal experiences written in there, and then we had this idea for like a video like concept, and we're like, well, wouldn't it be so cool if we had a DeLorean, which is like that's like a dream. It's like, oh, that'd be like a cool thing to do, but like obviously no one we know has a DeLorean. And we're like, well, what if we like tried to find one? So I emailed some group on Facebook, like a DeLorean
owner club.
Yeah, it was
or something.
Yeah, it was like a DMV chapter of DeLorean, and like I was like, would is there anyone out there be interested? And then he was like, I'm interested, email me. And then I emailed him, and he was just obviously like the coolest guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like that was our first music video. We've only done like three.
We've only done a few.
But
that was the first.
That was the first one. We tried to film something and like had an idea.
And like obviously we're amateurs. Like we're filming everything on an iPhone. Like I'm editing everything on iMovie. I don't know what I'm doing. And he was very okay with that. And he was awesome. Like Julian and I went out and like scouted places around his like where he lived, and found some like middle school with a nice straight driveway that we could just like drive through. And he was like, yeah, I'll meet you there, and like we'll just spend the day doing this. And he was, I mean, so generous with his time and like with letting us drive it, which is like, again, a dream come true.
He's a fun guy, but he's like super professional, and like it's a serious matter. He's going to make sure that the product is good. And I've seen the music video, and it's a lot of fun. It looked like like you said, it's a nostalgia trip. It really is. It's just like, hey, remember that time we grew up with Ninja Turtles and all the cool stuff, and how cartoons and stuff suck now, and being an adult is lame.
Yeah, there you go.
I think that's the whole song. Those are literally the lyrics, and then
you got it. Yeah.
Remember when Ninja Turtles were cool? Yeah, but it's just that vibe. And I know with him, when I met Brian, it was kind of the same thing. I was like, you seem like an all right fellow. And then like the more you get to know him, the nerd side comes out, and then he's just like a wealth of like knowledge with different people, and just he's lived a hell of a life already. And like you just kind of like, you're like, dude, how do you make all these connections? And part of it is the car, but the other half of that is just like he's grown up in so many unique areas, and luckily one of the areas happened to be just down the road from you guys. And then that speeds us along. We go 88 miles an hour to him hitting me up and going, dude, you got to get my buddies in Hiphopmcdougal. I was like, why do I need a hip hop who's what now? And he says, you need to listen to this song. And he says, this is the perfect song for Frightreads. And it's the only vocal track on the album. And I said, all right, fine. He sends me the direct link. I think it was the music video or something. Like I had YouTube playing on my phone while driving. So I'm trying not to watch the visuals, but you can't not. You're like, well, I guess I'll die for this music video. But like it's playing, and I think at the end of 3.5 minutes or however long, I messaged him and I said, that was the dumbest thing I think I've ever listened to. Are they available?
Yes, we are. Just like always.
Yeah. So the thing with that too, like, so the concept of it is a soundtrack it's the album of the soundtrack to an 80s film that doesn't exist. Is that the best summarization of it?
Yeah, that's it.
That's correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Julian texted me a few years ago and was like, what if we made a end credits theme song for an 80s movie that doesn't exist?
And it's kind of like Monster Squad, like that Monster Squad rap.
That was
main inspiration. I listened to it about 100 times while trying to get some ideas together for that. But yes, that's exactly what it is.
I think this might be better than the Monster Squad rap.
Because
that's a big Hollywood.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
So
I'm not gonna agree with you, but I'll take it.
Let me see. Just looking at any of the comments real quick, but I mean, for those that are just new to you, what's the name of that album? What is the name of the motion picture?
Oh, Howlers.
Howlers!
That's oh my. I wasn't ready for this.
Oh boy, there
Howlers! It is. Man, is that an official movie? Is that official movie quality mask?
Oh, it gets worse.
Gosh.
Oh, geez. What's the mask back on? What are you doing?
Put it back on.
Oh, your internet connection is so bad.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, Dairy Queen doesn't have great Wi-Fi, from what I hear.
I was trying to set it up, but I was looking at the preview and I was like, God, this fool has had the mask on since he popped in. I was like, well, we're gonna have to move a little quicker and get this Howlers thing underway.
No, that's good. That's good.
But so Howlers, like, if nobody's heard this, go to Spotify, go to Bandcamp, go to wherever there's music, and if you can find the official soundtrack and find the only song with lyrics, Howlers, it definitely, like I said, it's the Monster Squad rap, 1,000%. Like, it's that vibe, but it has no right to be as catchy as it is. We'll bring him back when we'll bring him back in when his Wi-Fi is better. Let's try that. Let's see. You any better? Nah, you're gone. There he is. That's better, or you nope, still bad. Well, we did our best.
We really tried.
But yeah, it just has like this different, like, it's new wave. It's got, honestly, if this was a movie from the 80s, this would be the music for it, because it just, you guys are like chuckling and laughing like, yeah, this was fun. No, like, it's a damn good song. Like, it's not just like, this is bad to listen to. Hey guys, courtesy listen. No, this is like MC Chris has songs like Boba Fett. My God, that's a courtesy listen song. You're like, dude, you got to listen to this song. My backpack's got jets.
Yeah, sure.
And then this is one of those, like, dude, you're gonna love this shit. Howlers. Like, so who did you already said, like, you guys don't have the singing, but you can rap. Who did the Howlers singing part? Because it worked.
This guy, he can sing, just not me.
It worked.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I do. So I do all this. I do the singing. So all the hooks and things like that. So that was, I recorded that. Just, I remember doing it in my like TV room when my daughter Hope had just been born, and she perfect, Brian, perfect. When my daughter Hope had just been born, and she was sleeping in her little swing, and I sang that one time, and she just woke up crying, just
crying with joy.
Yeah, I'd like to think that, but I was like, holla! Like, just, I'm just belting it out in a range that is not my own, and
the baby's just in the bed like, holla!
Yeah, I know. I remember her just being like just screaming. And I was like, oh, but I really want to finish recording this. So, yeah, that's me. Just, it's like many layers of me.
Yeah.
But
it has that, like, my God, it's just whatever you did, you were just like, I know you guys are like me. You're probably giggling the whole time it's coming up. You're like, God, this is so dumb. I love this. This is, and then it like turns out, like, somebody that's completely from the outside, this is a good song. Like, I know you guys are just throwing around.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
But it's good.
Thanks, man.
And I've shared it with other people, and like my buddy Paul runs Irina's Crepes, where I do a lot of my writing. I was like, so anyway, I booked these guys. They're out of like the DC area, so they're local enough. You got to check out this song. And I start to play it, and he's like, and that's kind of like it just escalates, because like the beginning of it kind of starts up, and then you get into the howlers, and then the rap part kicks in, like howlers, and you're like, okay. And he's just like, send me the link.
Cool.
You don't ask for the link if it's a bad song.
Yeah,
that's good.
You're just like, man, that was pretty good. Yeah, okay. And then
I mean, we've done a lot of different projects and different themed things over the last 15 years. And to me, that one was the most fun, which I'm glad I reconsidered my scoffing when Julian first texted me about that. And I was like, that's dumb. Why would we do that? But then, like, I love it. Like, we were able to make that song. I had COVID when I made that music. So I was like, I was quarantined in my room while my amazing wife took care of our 2 kids elsewhere in the house. And then we were like, what if we make it a whole soundtrack? Like, just so then I put together all the other instrumental music to go ahead for like the score of this fictional movie. And we were like, okay, well, like the track list will kind of tell the story of the film. So even though the film doesn't exist, like you can kind of track
followable. It's
you can like kind of like track the ideas of it through the music. And
hand to me, it was combat. Like, well, there's a fight scene. We know what's going on there. There should be a fight scene there.
Yeah, and to me, that was so fun. To like just do the music in that way. And then we were like, well, now we gotta make a music video.
Mm-hmm. Well, I heard that when you tried to put it onto like Spotify, they were like, the official soundtrack to what? This doesn't exist. So did the music video come first, or did the not so movie just to satisfy Spotify? Which one came first?
So we were in the process of filming the music video and then heard that back from Spotify. So we added some scenes with like actual dialogue with the soundtrack music he made like behind it.
Yeah.
Because I think they said like it can't say motion picture on the album art unless there's some sort of video. And I think you asked like how long a video, and they were like 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We'll qualify for the motion picture.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, we can make a 10-minute, flesh this out a bit.
Yeah. So we spent like a week just like filming these dumb scenes to like stitch together the footage we had. Not that like they were film critics at Spotify or like, at the company that we used to put it on Spotify, but like we wanted it to work. We didn't want them to be like, kick it back to us and be like, well, now you got to go do this. So we were like, we're going to make this into a short film with like an intro and credits.
Yeah.
And the whole thing's going to be there. And it's awful.
And
I don't know if you've seen it. Have you seen it, Harry?
Oh, it is. It's terrible.
It's
but on purpose.
But you know what?
Yo, yeah.
But like you're watching it, and dude, I have seen much worse. We do a thing out at, so especially in the pandemic, we had bad movie night, and I had my I actually built a deck in my backyard. I had like a raised platform deck, wide enough to fit like a big like sectional couch for outside, that kind of thing. Put a projector out, and we started watching movies. And some of them, like, it's bad movie night, but it doesn't mean it's a bad movie.
Sure.
Like we watched Velocipaster.
Oh yeah,
it's a bad movie, but is it a bad movie?
This is like the ultimate question.
Yeah, like
what makes it? What's the purpose? Is it to entertain?
But your mini film was watchable. It wasn't like I was just like I can't
watch it, please.
But you're just like, this is so stupid. And like the transformation scenes are like,
that was my wife. That was my wife. Her
American Werewolf in London look. It makes American Werewolf look like peasantry. they need to go back to school for those effects. It's fun. But then the reason why the not so werewolfed out Brian is there in his pixelized form.
8-bit Brian.
8-bit Brian. There it is. Here's your rap name. 8-bit Brian.
Yeah, 8-bit.
So it was kind of a process of things. So Brian messages me and says, you got to check out these guys. They have a werewolf song. They'd be perfect for Frightreads. Told me nothing about any other song. Just, you need to listen to this werewolf song. Okay. So I pop on Howlers. I listened to it. And I was like, this is stupid. Anyway, they're in. And then I listened to it another couple dozen times. It's in the official Frightreads shuffle now. So the past event that we just had and any subsequent event, Howlers will just start playing.
Great.
Love it.
So
thank you.
We're gonna have that in rotation. So I was like, yeah, this is cool. This is cool. And then he, out of nowhere, I think it was like 10, 11 o'clock at night, some like goofy hour. And Brian, you had called me up and said, I got a really dumb idea. Listen to it. I'm like, okay. I'm here for dumb ideas. And you said, you know how Hiphopmcdougal has the Howlers song and the whole soundtrack, right? And I'm like, yeah. I'm gonna ask them if I can write the book on the fake movie based around their soundtrack. And I was like, I don't hate this idea. I wish you the best. And then he approached you guys like immediately after and was like, I got this really great idea. I don't know if he said really great. He may have just had an idea, but the idea was there. So like, what was your guys' reaction to the book version being introduced?
Okay, well, luckily Brian called us on, we were on speakerphone, not on FaceTime, because I had a lot of confusion on my face at first. But then, like I said before, it took like 3 minutes of hearing his enthusiasm and like how into it he was to be like, oh, this is like the exact energy Hiphopmcdougal like tries to bring to every stupid song we write and everything we do to like try to just have a good time while making, in the name of art. And we were, by the end of that conversation, we were absolutely sold.
We were amped.
Yeah.
We were like, yes,
yeah.
please write it.
My wife came downstairs and I was like, you got to hear this. I was like, Hiphopmcdougal's going to have a book.
But it's funny too, because like I've had the fortunate or unfortunate chance of being alongside this entire ride as it's unfolded, and I got to hear the original pitch and his brand new pitch. I think we should do it this way instead. I am the whole reason. I'd say 90% of the reason the format that it is currently, because I just said, because I think Brian, you wanted to do like a play-by-play of the actual novel. Like you wanted to novelize the movie.
Right.
And then you came at me and
suggested, you said, well, why don't we interview all the cast members?
Well, you came at me with the new idea. You said, I'd actually rather do this like a Spinal Tap type of thing.
Right.
But they're all talking about the worst movie to ever work on. And I said, however, I like both ideas. Why not both?
Put them together. Yeah. So now, like
that was a great idea.
Like each chapter is a song, one of the songs, and I studied the short film.
Oh,
I know that short film better than you guys do.
He studied.
I did. Oh man.
Yeah. He sent this text that
frame by frame.
Yeah, he sent this text and he was like, my mind is going blank from having to watch this stupid short film.
I know the Sergeant Otto Van Helsing scene so well because I studied it.
Sergeant Otto Van Helsing.
And then so each chapter, is per song, right? So there's as many chapters as there are songs, and each chapter is titled per each song. But then at the end of each chapter, we interview a cast member that you guys created that's in the credits somewhere, and Harry was the cast member for a lot of them. I went to his house.
One.
Well, two, because they're them. I interviewed.
Well, I'm saying like in terms of everyone else, but the originators of this concept here,
right?
I'm pretty much all but one person.
Yeah, and I went to his house and I took my phone. No, I brought my laptop and I brought my good microphone, my recording microphone, and we just hit record. And I interviewed, and he got into character for each person. And some of the people you came up with, some of the names are hysterical.
The wolf trainers were probably my favorite.
The wolf, what were they called? What were their names?
Wonder Wolves.
Wonder Wolves Incorporated. Oh my god. He had me laughing. Harry had me laughing so hard that like we had to do like
it's so cool.
Multiple takes.
God, so the reason I like the Wonder Wolves one was because not only did I speak in incoherent actual German, and you had to be like, you're gonna have to write that and spell that out for me because I don't know what the hell you just said. I got to add that in, but then it just got very Siegfried and Roy like, and it just got really silly. And then there was the other guy. I don't remember which one he was. Was it the stunt guy? Was it Dirk with the socks? Dirk socks.
Well, we came up with ourselves because there wasn't anything in the credits
for
that character.
Would rather work with the wolves.
It was the one. No, we did one.
Yeah, there was somebody that said that they'd rather work with the wolves. I know Marissa and the catering would rather feed the wolves than the people because they ate better and they were more well behaved.
Right. You know, you guys did the catering company. Do you remember you did the catering company?
I don't remember who they were.
I don't know if you remember that. But
how do you not remember who your caterers are?
PC catering.
This was like during COVID that I like came up with these lists of names. I don't remember any of them. I remember Juan O'Malley.
Juan O'Malley. Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, Juan O'Malley got interviewed.
Yes, Juan O'Malley. Good representation.
And Brian wouldn't. I didn't look at the cast list because I was like, why don't you send me who they are so I can prepare for it? And he's like, no, I'm not. And it was just like, okay, so this is the animal handler, and their name is, or second light grip. This is, and whatever it would be, and then he would give the names, and he's like, and this is Juan O'Malley. And 20 minutes later, I'm finally done laughing because I'm like, why is his name Juan O'Malley? And didn't I make him from somewhere that wasn't Irish or Spanish?
Perfect.
Juan
O'Malley from Missouri.
We took that one.
Yeah, something stupid. And like there was that. There was the other guy. The God, I can't remember what his role was, but the guy that had he was the werewolfologist.
Yeah, we came up with a werewolfologist.
Good. Oh, that's awesome.
But they were like, don't you need lycanthropist? I said what I said.
I kept calling him a werewolfologist.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, but there was just so much stuff that went in extra that I know you guys are going to just it'll be a whole new experience for the two of you. You'll be like, I made this movie, I made this song. I don't know what is going on right now.
Yeah,
that's great. I mean, that's great. That's great. I mean, it's so cool to make a joke or something that ends up somehow having a life of its own.
Yeah.
All with good friends involved. That's, I mean, are we not living the best dream ever? In terms of this hobby? It's so cool. I don't know. I love it.
And I think, Brian, my favorite part I sent over. I'll say my favorite part that I sent over to you, I said, well, when you first told me you were going to do it, I got excited for you when I was like, oh my God, the most meta thing can be done. I want to write the introduction. Right. As if this is a prolific 80s movie that the studio has just contacted you and asked and commissioned you to write their novel. This is my favorite movie of all time. I grew up watching this movie. I got to write something about it. And I sent you that introduction, and I think you said, this didn't really happen, did it? This is all fake, right? Because I just got so heavy-handed in emotion, I was there. I got lost in it, and I was like, it's probably Big Trouble in Little China, Ghostbusters, whatever I was really thinking of. But I got in my head about me just getting so emotionally wrapped up over the honor that I get to write the introduction to this prolific film, Howlers, which is not even a film.
Your favorite movie. Yeah. So my favorite part, the last thing that I wanted to say about the book was my favorite part was that we never interview the director. Yeah. Right? Wally Sampson. We never interview him, but everybody talks about him. So so the reader's gonna get an idea of who he is based on everybody's comments, right? And he's hated by most, and it's he became the Stanley Kubrick werewolf movies.
Yeah. Well, I think we kind of brought that up because it was he had the one actor or somebody having to stay with the wolves or something, and it was just such method acting to get the fear. Yeah. Very Kubrick like. We did reference something like that.
Stay with real wolves to get into character and all that. But
went to the zoo and climbed in with them, stuff like that. Like,
yeah. So Wally Sampson is funny because he's not interviewed at all, but everybody talks. All the interviews break up in one way or another. So
he's elusive,
funny. And it's the 39th anniversary, which is like hysterical because it's like who like celebrates the 39th anniversary?
Do you want to hear something crazy, Brian? You know how we talked about obviously Spinal Tap as being an inspiration of this.
That was probably my biggest inspiration.
Yeah. Well, they are re-releasing that in the theater for their 41st anniversary.
Oh, geez. So the other way around.
Isn't that hilarious?
It took your idea, Brian.
Oh, we heard that.
Oh,
no,
yeah,
we heard that.
Them.
We heard that after.
That was after. That was after, man. That was after. And I was like, oh, we're like right there.
yeah. A lot.
Yeah. Well, that and they're coming out with Spinal Tap too.
It's serendipitous.
We all have the same sense of humor. It's great.
We're the same.
It's funny. It is funny.
That's awesome.
Great.
So like,
hey, and Howlers, its big release party is Frightreads, so we'll all be there.
Yes.
Yeah.
So not only do people get to hear the song, to the world famous film, but if you loved the movie so much, you'll absolutely love the novel that Brian down here has written.
Yes.
So like, how does it feel to like go from chuckling about something during the pandemic to where we're at right now, where there's a book and hopefully, I hope this is a wood desk. What if somebody picks up Brian's book and wants to turn it into a movie?
I mean, that's
like, what about that
dream
full circle?
Yeah.
The most meta thing ever. It was a soundtrack to a fake movie that turned into a book that got turned into a movie. I think you're contractually obligated to do the soundtrack.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, we'd have to talk to Wally.
Yeah.
to see
but,
what
like, could you imagine?
Oh, I mean, that'd be amazing. It's like I think for a bunch of our albums, we've like in little projects, we've come up with like these kind of bigger ideas. I'd be like, oh, if we had money, this is what we would do, and if we had resources, this is what we would do. And like, it's cool to have some kind of expansion. Like, book is, I mean, that's like beyond anything we thought would ever be possible. So thank you, Brian.
Yes.
That's really cool. But if we go to movie level,
writing a terrible song.
Howlers,
movie level,
game tie-in. You get the NES game tie-in.
Oh my god!
Oh my god! That'd be a good original 8-bit.
Oh
that would
my
be
god!
I
know
a great
people.
game.
I know people. Let me make
Otto Van Helsing.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some phone calls and see if I can get somebody to do like a retro NES Atari level Howlers game.
I mean,
and then maybe we can. What if we can 8-bit the actual Howlers theme song?
Yeah.
And it's just like that, like really dumbed down. Dee, 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 dee.
Yeah.
And you're just like, Howlers.
Yeah. I'm in.
Yeah.
Let's go, guys.
Let's do it. Let's do all the tie-ins that make zero sense.
What are we doing on here? Come on, we got things to do.
Everybody get out of here. We got work to do. Well, on that note, anybody that's been watching, if you're still watching, if you're just tuning in well after the fact, going, crap, I missed it. Go to frightreads.com, grab your tickets. We just spent the better part of an hour talking about nerdy stuff, music, and a werewolf movie that isn't real, but hopefully will be one day. And we're back. Howlers! I put the link up a bunch of times. Let me pull that up because that's a lot of words, but it's not. It's just hiphopmcdougal.bandcamp.com. That's where you can actually financially support the albums. Otherwise, if you want them to earn 0.00001 for every 400 listens, go to Spotify.com, go to your Spotify app, whatever, and look up Hip Hop McDougal. You mostly won't regret it.
Mostly.
That's fair. Yeah.
You mostly
we'll
don't
take,
regret
we'll take it. We'll take it, Harry.
but you're going to go down a rabbit hole and you're going to have a great time. And then you're going to bleed over and listen to some MC Chris. And then you're going to find out that Boba Fett's got backpacks with jets.
Yeah.
And it'll just be a great day for you. But definitely check out Howlers, because Howlers is going to be performed on stage for sure. You guys do a visual spectacle that is like the poor man's Rob Zombie, Alice Cooper.
Yeah. Definitely poor.
But it's still a visual spectacle to behold.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
It's something to watch. But you guys definitely get your tickets, show up. Hiphopmcdougal will have their schedule posted when they're going to be playing. We're going to have several great musicians. We're going to have Hiphopmcdougal. We're going to have allegedly Jane Jensen, as long as all works out. We're going to have Screaming Mad D. He plays very soft music. And then we're going to have, what's their band name? Drawing a blank, but one of our authors, Howard Siskin, will be there with his band. And they play a lot of like cool classic rock type of covers. And because he's an author, the music doesn't fit, but Howard's a good guy and he's going to play us some tracks to start up the morning. So it'll be a lot of fun.
Cool.
So thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you everybody that has logged in, connection trouble or otherwise. This has been an absolute blast. I love talking music with people, and it's a blast. So I'll see you guys in September.
Yeah, we can't wait.
All right, Harry, thank you. Thank you for having us on here and for having us at Frightreads. We're really excited and excited to be there. So
we'll see you over in there in Paone Palooza, where all of Brian's people are being corralled.
Yes.
All right. Well, we'll see everybody next week when I talk to the next person. Same bat time, same bat place. Bye, everybody.
All right. See you guys.